Well, hi everyone. Welcome to the pal2tech show. Happy Friday. Today is March 22nd, and this is show number 4. Can you believe it? 4 shows. I am back. Yes, I sort of took a bit of a break over the past couple of, well, I guess it's been about 2 weeks now. I didn't do a video last week, and so I came out this week with, the Instax Mini 99. I'll get into that in just a second. How are you all doing? Let's see who's here. Who is here with me tonight? Paul. Hello from Texas. Love Paul's photos. I love his portfolio. Mr. Jarble. Awesome. I'm going to be sending you a message actually this weekend. I meant to do it last week. So yeah, it's funny. I'm just like talking to people directly and I forget that there's like a whole bunch of other people going, well, who's that? What is he doing? So anyway, Miles, how you doing, pal? Good to see you. Great to see you. Sebastian. Okay, I'm sorry, Sebastian. I don't have film recipes on this live stream, but I've actually been doing a lot of work behind the scenes on, you know what I can't even say, but it has to do with film recipes and firmware, accessing firmware. That's all I'm going to say because I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing it. So I will have much more to say on that subject soon, if ever. Okay, who else is here? Boy, we've got people. Terry, okay, good to see you. Miguel, excellent, from Argentina. Mike from Ireland. Hi there. Okay, well, I'll tell you, we had one video, and I had the X100, 6 silver for 2 weeks, and I had to drop that camera off. I love it. So the first thing I have to tell you is that the silver finish on the X100V is fine. You don't need to worry about it getting smudged. I've read a lot of rumors about that, and I don't see it. It never happened to me, and if anyone beats cameras up, it's me, and I didn't have any problems with the silver finish. So if you're debating on going with silver and you like the look, but you're a little bit hesitant about it getting, smudged up with your fingers, it won't. What may happen if you're constantly in a hurry, taking on and off, these tripod mount things, okay? If you're constantly doing that kind of thing, yeah, you're going to notice the scratches more, obviously, on a silver camera at the bottom than you would on, a black one. So just keep that in mind. I think the silver version is absolutely beautiful. And honestly, I love the black one too, but I had the black one for a week and I had the silver one for 2 weeks. So all told, I've only had that camera, God, I can't believe it, for 3 weeks. But the silver one stood out for me. I like that one the best. So had to return it. The problem, hold on, I got to take a sip of this and I'm going to tell you the problem. And it was a big problem. The problem was that Fuji, unbeknownst to me, decided to release another Instax camera. Now, look, I know the audience of this channel probably could not really care less about Instax cameras. I get that. But if you look at the numbers in what brings in profit for Fujifilm and what does well, I don't know what is going on with those Instax cameras, but they rake it in. People love those things, okay? So every time I do a video on an Instax camera, that becomes, over time, the most viewed video on the channel. The most viewed equals cha-ching, I keeps the lights on around here. So, for me to not do one, and I actually like the camera, but for me to go, okay, X100V, I know that's going to be popular, Instax. And the other thing about Instax is it brings in a new audience, right? It is younger. It's a different vibe. It's a different crowd. So I had to make some decisions. And I couldn't do all of the testing I wanted to do with the X100 camera. So Fuji, I thank you. Thank you for sending it to me for 2 weeks. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. But the kind of testing I want to do, I'm going to need more time. So once everyone else has had a chance to test out the demo models, if you have any extra laying around, if you could put me on that list for another 2 weeks, that would be great because there's a couple of things I got to do. However, I did shoot in its entirety 2 brand new videos on that camera that are going to be coming out. One of them, if I can get my S together, one of them this weekend, okay? And in fact, I am going to be going right. It's a good time to jump into it now. It's going to be the hidden features of that camera, okay? That's one video. I'm not going to tell you the other one. I'm going to save a few surprises. But the first video on that camera, it's already been shot. I just have to edit it. That video will go over some hidden features. I'm going to show you 3 of them right now, okay? Just want to say hi to a few of you. Make sure I haven't ignored anybody. All right, let's see here. Who do we have on the stream? Mr. Jarble, thank you so much. And you know what? Let me see if I can find your... Yeah, I can. All right, so I agree with Mr. Jarble. I completely agree. I love scratches. You know what? I don't put protectors on my phones. I don't put protectors on the back of this. Never. I used to. Oh, yeah. I used to line that thing up. I'd buy, an iPhone, and then before the clock struck another minute, I would get one of those, protectors and put it on and be worried about it. I don't care. I just don't care anymore. And it was this weird thing that happened. It hit me at age 49, okay? And it was suddenly I thought that one day, some years from now, I'll be gone. I mean, you'll still have these videos, so it'll be all right, but I'll be gone. And my camera will be in great shape. I'll be gone. And I don't know why. I know that sounds really morbid, but that was what I thought. And so I was like, you know what? The hell with it. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. If I get a scratch on it, big deal. So what? And Mr. Jarble's right. It does appear kind of like, it does appear like you're using it, Somebody's actually calling me. Hold on. Okay, so I'm getting a message right now from my ever trustworthy assistant that the audio is hot. Is that true? It may be hot locally right here in the network, but outside in the interwebs, am I talking too loud? Is the audio too hot? Because I can turn it down. Please let me know in the comments, because once again, wouldn't be a pal2tech live stream without another technical problem. All right, let's do a real quick review of, I don't know how to pronounce this name, but hello back to you in Turkey. Okay. Paul says the audio's fine. Good. I trust Paul. That was my wife, by the way. Meaning I trust Paul more than my wife. I'm going to get it tonight. Okay, so where am I? I'm getting completely lost. What's in the cup? What's the matter with you guys? You think I'm just going to be... Thank you. I got the message. Yeah. We're checking audio right now. Thank you. You think I'm on something or something. Look, what's in the cup? All right, let me switch to the overhead. What's in the cup? Water, little water. You see right there? That's what's in the cup. Who asked that question? I think that was Miles. Cheers, Miles, and cheers everyone else. By the way, I'm drinking water tonight. I got a lot to do this weekend. I don't want to wake up tomorrow with a big headache. So, cheers. X100V. Let's talk about that. So, when I was going through that camera, I was looking for features that were kind of unusual, for the video. I found about 7 or 8 of them. I'm going to show you 3 of them now. But the funny thing is that I realized when I was preparing this stream that the features that I found, the hidden features, are on other Fujifilm cameras, and they were so hidden that I didn't even know they were there. And I will bet you right now that at least one of these features you will not know ever existed, okay? I'm just saying that. I'm betting that right now. I don't have any money to bet because I haven't responded to any sponsors in the past 3 weeks at all. I've been so busy. But I'm just saying, there will be at least one of these that you will have never heard of. I will be surprised. If you know all three of them, let me know in the comments because I won't believe it. Okay, so the first one, it's kind of specific in terms of it's on all Fuji cameras, but on the X100V, it looks differently the way you hold it and place your hands. I am talking about, of course, the ability to quickly format your SD card without having to go into the menus. Now, on most Fujifilm cameras, right, what you can do is you can simply, let's get some light in here. What you can do is you can simply, and how about a little focus, please? There we go. Okay. All right. What you can do, focus. What you can do generally is you press and hold it. Oh man, what is up with this autofocus? What camera is this? Okay, I'm shooting this with an XT2. So just saying, XT2. All right, on manual focus. Now I got to kind of squint and see where it is. Okay, I think that's in focus. So this delete button, right? Usually you hold that down, press in on the command dial. Okay, that's how it is done on most of the Fuji cameras. So the X100VI also has that functionality. And I don't think a lot of new users realize that. They either format their cards on their computer, which you shouldn't do. Do it in the camera, okay? Because the camera really needs to do that, especially if you're using the app. But it's easy to do, right? So here's the problem with this live stream. I don't have the camera. I sent it back to Fuji, but I care. So what I did was I prepared some video footage showing this that I'm going to show you as I talk about it. Just pretend that I have the camera in my hand, okay? Let me see if I can get this to work. Please work. Something work. Okay, let me get the video open. Okay, can you see it? All right. I'm getting there. Okay, so this is a Fujifilm cam. And what you do if you have an X100VI, simply press down with one thumb on the drive delete. You see that? My left thumb. Boom. You see that? Boom. Okay, so press and hold it down. All right. While you're holding it down, see my other thumb. I'm pointing. I can't. My other thumb on the right side of the screen. And what you do is you press in and you hold. You don't press once and let go. You press in and you hold, and boom, there it comes. Format data. And it goes really fast. All right. It's just about that fast. And you can format your SD card. Just make sure that you don't have any photos on it that you need, because it will wipe the entire card clean. Also, if you're going to be upgrading the firmware on the X100VI, make sure that you format the SD card first in the camera, and then bring it to your computer, put the firmware on it, bring it back to the camera, and install it. Alternatively, you can use the Fuji app. And I ran a lot of tests, and I can confirm to you right now that the Fuji app, the new one, works great with the X100VI. And it has a couple of cool features that are specific to the X100VI, such as showing you the shutter count, which is awesome. So, okay, that was number one. How are we doing so far? Did you all see that? Did it make sense? Excellent. All right. Hello, German in Peru. I love Peru. I was too lazy to hike up to Machu Picchu, so I took don't you have like that train that zigzags up? I took that. I was lazy, but oh, it's beautiful. I love Peru. All right. Fine. We got a difficult crowd here. Not new for me. Okay, fair enough. There's three of them, remember, and I said just one of them you may not heard of. So let's see if you can get number two, okay? Number two is, what is number two? Okay, and I couldn't believe this existed, but it does. And in fact, I'm going to show it to you on the XT5, okay? Because the controls for it and how you turn it on and everything is exactly the same, I believe. Yeah. So let me run through that. Some of you may know this. Okay. So All right. What you do if you have a image, oh, you know what? I can't do it because of the HDMI thing. So what happens, hold on a second. This is one of those things I would have edited out of one of my videos, but since I'm live, oh well. If the camera is connected to HDMI and you switch into playback mode, it loses connection, it cuts it out, and then it causes problems downstream with the live stream. So we're going to go to plan B, and I do have a plan B. I have video of it because I knew it would screw up. So plan B is going to be desktop. This is the number 2 feature, okay? And we are going to pull it up. Okay, there's Gear Iguana. I took this photo with the X100VI. All right. Now, for the number 2 feature, what you do okay, you basically put the camera, and you can do this on an XT5, an XT4, an XT3, an XS20, and probably the GFX, but don't hold me to that, and definitely the X100VI. So what you do is you start playing back one of your photos. See, with your camera, what some people can do is it has the HDMI out, right? And the X100VI has the same thing. And what a number of photographers do is they will go out of their camera into another monitor, right? And that way, when they're shooting, right, if they have the client there, they can show on a monitor the images that they've just shot without having to, say, walk over and see it on a tiny screen. The advantage of that is that you can blow it up, you know, on a big monitor, right? You use an HDMI connection to the monitor. However, if you're shooting at the highest quality possible, you know, and that on the camera is, let me get you overhead. That is 3:2. Can you see that right there? 3:2. So that is the highest quality on the camera. So you have a 3:2 aspect ratio. What's the problem with that? If you're trying to display it on a wide screen monitor, what's the problem? The problem is you're going to have bars on either side because the monitor is in 16:9 format. All I'm saying is that there's a way to fix this. So going back into here, pull this. Okay, so pretend that I've just started playing back my images. And I press, and what you have to do on your camera is while you are in the image playback mode, okay, while you have your images in the preview, right, and you're looking at them on the back of the camera, press the menu OK button, okay? Press menu OK, and that will then take you into this, this screen right here, the playback menu, okay, on the X100VI and on a number of other Fuji cameras. There is a choice, and it's hard to, okay, let me see if it goes away. There is a choice called DISP aspect. Have you ever seen this before? Now, if you choose that, okay, there, put it in 16:9, right? And if you do that, that will persist even when you turn the camera off. So you can turn the camera off and go to, you know, the Bahamas for a year, come back, turn the camera back on, and it will still be in 16:9 here. And when you do that, it will change what it looks like. See right here, and I can't demonstrate this, but if you look at the left side of the screen here, you have black bar here, okay? Because it's not fitting all the way. And your client would see that, and that's how it would be displayed on the monitor. However, if you change it to that format that I'm talking about. I think it will. No, I can't demo what it actually looks like, but I will in my video that is coming out in the next day or so. But just know that it will fill the whole screen and it'll look a lot better. It'll look just nicer without those. Of course, it may crop in a little bit, and that's a whole other issue. But let me take a quick poll now. Did anybody already know about this? Okay. The next one's going to be even more obscure. But did anyone know about this one already? And this one's been available for a while on a lot of Fuji cameras. I had no idea about it until yesterday. And I go in these camera menus all the time. So let's see who may have known about it. Hold on. Hey, Natalie, good to see you. Yeah, I know, Miles, but it says 16:9. There's something screwy about what I'm using for live stream to display this whole thing. So I'll show it wait till you see the actual video that I make. But it's supposed to be 16:9, and it definitely alters it. That's for sure. But did I say it's a useful feature? Maybe. The next one, though, I did find very useful. And this one, I don't think any of you are going to know about, or at least very few of you. Okay, I'm going to end on that one. So here we go. Number 3, hidden feature on the X100VI and also on a number of other Fuji cameras, including the X-T5 has it. I was surprised. And this I can demo with an X-T5. Pretend this is the X100VI. It's the same process, same thing. Let me just make sure I can get this thing broadcast. Okay, hold on. All right. What you do is, can I get the menu? Boom. Yay! Okay. You go into your camera's menu, all right? And you look for, I'm in still. Doesn't matter whether you're in still or movie. Okay, you go down to the little wrench. You go into screen setup, all right? And you see where it says view mode setting, okay? Now, that menu item on an X-T5, X-T4, X-T3, X-T2, and most of the other X cameras has this button right here. Okay, hold on. Has this button right there. You press that button, right? And basically what that does is it switches things around. It toggles between a number of different modes. One mode is that when you put your face against the camera, the LCD screen goes blank because you wouldn't be able to see it anyway. You're looking through the viewfinder, right? And vice versa, you can turn it off. There's like 4 or 5 different modes to that, right? So on the X100VI, there is no button. There's no physical button on the camera to do that. So you have to go into the menu. So when you go into the menu and view mode setting, right? If you go in there and you have a choice, either shooting or playback, we're just going to go with shooting. That's the most common, right? You go into shooting, you'll see the choices here, right? So you've got your eye sensor, your LCD, your EVF, blah, 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 blah. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 choices. So suppose that you regularly always want to choose eye sensor and, I don't know, EVF only plus sensor. I'm not going to get into what all these mean right now, but suppose you wanted the first one and you wanted the 4th one, okay? When you're in this menu, here's what you do. Here's what you do. While you're in the menu, you press the Q button. Watch this. Okay, watch this. Boom. Look at that. Check this out. Have a look at this. So now you have check boxes next to it. So I want eye sensor. Nah, I don't want that one. Nah, I don't want that one. I want that one. Nah, I don't want that one. Okay. Then, right, once I've done that, I'm going to go back, okay? It's all good. So now, when you're using the onboard button on the X-T5, 4, 3, 2, and whatever, or if you're using the X1, X100VI, I'm losing track of all these names. X100VI camera, if you're using any Fujifilm camera that has this, when you go to switch around, when you go into it, right? If you go into screen setup, watch this. Okay, we're going to go into view mode setting. Okay, shooting. Boom, look at that. And then you just jump. You just jump. I have saved you some milliseconds off your life because you don't have to go doot, 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 doot to get to that one. You just go doot. You see that? I saved you some time. Now, right? How many of you knew about this? And be honest, how many of you knew about this? I'm going to just give you a second to write it down. Not because I think you need a second, because I need some water. But how many of you really knew about this? Be honest. While you're thinking about telling the truth or not, I want to say a very special thank you to, can I find it? Is it here? Yes. To Mr. Jarble for gifting, what is it? 50 pal2tech memberships. Mr. Jarble, that's a lot. Thank you. Honestly, thank you. The memberships are awesome. You get to join the Discord server. We have a really fun time. Let me do a plug for that. We have the Discord server. It's called the Discord community. So we've got that. And yeah, it's a place to share photos, to talk about Fujifilm and all that good stuff. So thank you, Mr. Jarble. Really, really appreciate it. All right, folks. Did anyone get this? Let's see. Never before. Never before. Let's see. Come on. Didn't anybody know about it? Mr. Jarble has cluttered up all the comments. Everything says ding, 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 gifted, gifted, gifted. I can't find anybody. Here, wait. Because he's just too generous. Thank you, pal. I really appreciate it. I can't find it. There's too many gifted memberships in here. Okay, so do me a favor. I'm going to give you an address because we've had some technical problems with this whole Discord thing, and I've had a number of people reach out to me. So let me make sure. Okay. So what I want you to do and let me see if I can go there myself, and I'll just show it to you. Okay, so if you have a pal2tech channel membership, or if you've joined Backstage, okay, and this thing is confusing. I actually never set it up properly, so let me just quickly explain, then we'll move on to the next thing. Backstage is Patreon, basically, and and the YouTube also has an ability to join the channel, okay? So both of those memberships have access to Discord. That's one of the benefits, okay? If you join up, it's supposed to just work, which means in tech, it works about 25% of the time. So if you are having any trouble, in other words, you've joined up, you've got a membership, you know that's working, you need to go to the following website. Can we do this? Nope. There it is. Okay. Hey, I got it. All right. I don't know if you can see it right here. pal2tech.com/Discord. And I have a pal2tech.com/Discord, and I have a help article. Go there first, please. If you still can't get in, if there's still a problem, then by all means reach out to me, okay? But I need to cut down on the messages and the emails because I just do. In fact, that leads me to my next topic. Let's talk about the next topic. According to, I believe it's Fuji Rumors and Fuji this, there's another Fuji site. Hold on a second. Fuji Addict, okay? I like the sound of Fuji Rumors better. Fuji Addict sounds a little hardcore. You know, I gotta have my GFX. But Fuji Rumors is a little nice thing. But we're going to talk today about Fuji Addict. Now, with Fuji Addict, look at this. Viltrox, 56mm f1.7 lens. let's take a better look at it. Okay. Yep, there it is in the box. And according to, I guess, this site, according to Weibo, I don't know what Weibo is. The Viltrox 56mm and f1.7, blah, 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 will come next month. Okay, so it's coming next month, and both lenses will be about $124. But the 56mm f1.7, to me, sounds pretty exciting. In fact, I think, somewhere back here, Okay, so we have, Viltrox already released a 56, okay? They've been down this path before. And in fact, it's this one right, come on with the focus. It's this one right here, okay? And it's the f1.4 XF. So what's weird is that you have a 56mm f1.4 Viltrox lens, and then now Viltrox is coming out with a f1.7. So I don't know. I've been kind of out of it the last couple of weeks, but they seem really similar. So the interesting thing is that Viltrox reached out to me and they offered to send this lens so that I could test it. And I haven't responded to them because I just, the same reason I haven't responded to I have email bankruptcy right now. So Viltrox, if you're watching, yes, by all means, I'd be happy to test it out, but send it over. But I was surprised at that because they are very similar. What's your take on that? We have already released from Viltrox the AF56 f1.4 XF lens, and then now obviously we have the 56mm f1.7. So, and of course, yeah, I'm looking at autofocus prime. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. So we'll see how that plays out. And would you like to see a comparison between that and the other 56? I also have, I think, a Fuji. Yeah, I can compare these, and I have reviewed a number of Viltrox lenses, so I'm very familiar with their history. They were one of the first third-party lens makers for Fujifilm, and so I can share a great perspective. If you'd like to see a video, let me know on that lens. Be happy to do it. And this gets into one of those weird problems, and I, and the rest of you, you know what? Cheers to everyone, by the way. I need the normal audience to just take 1 minute, just relax, have a sip, read through the comments, because I need to talk to now the vendors that are watching this, okay? Because I know a few are. I don't review lenses in the order in which they arrive at the studio. Sorry, I don't review any gear that way. And so you may ship something and it may sit here for 3 months before I review it. Or you may ship something and it will be reviewed by the end of the week. It depends on so many factors, right? And so, for example, and I feel bad, but stuff comes up. I'm sorry, but if I had to decide whether to review a new lens or to review the X100VI, which took me by surprise when Fuji offered it, I'm going to go that route. I just have to with the channel to keep the lights on. But I will promise this. Every lens, every piece of gear that I've told you, yeah, go ahead, send it, I will review. It may be 3 months, but I will get to it. I promise you that. Yeah, this one, for example, I'll review this one. At some point, I will review this. Maybe this other one here. This is this one actually will review pretty soon because I'm very interested in it, and I have kind of an idea for a really funny video with it. So yeah, I mean, that's how it works, and I can't pay my Amex bill and my mortgage with lens reviews, right? I have to really focus on things like, okay, this week we've got the Instax, and there's going to be a number of people that are going to probably watch that, I hope. So I have to move things around a little bit. That doesn't mean your product is bad or you're not important or whatever. It's just, it is what it is, okay? If you have a problem with that, then don't send me any gear. All right, that's kind of how it is. Okay, we're back. How's everybody doing? Let's Oh, okay. So, Miles, I would like to hear about how that turned out. So, we did have someone actually shoot a documentary on the 35. Is that the same documentary that I watched on Backstage? Let me know. Okay. So, Florian, thank you so much for the super chat. Wow. Wow. And I'm really glad that you're here tonight. I'm really glad. So, thank you and welcome. I'm drinking water tonight. I don't have a case of your wine yet. I got to kind of figure out how to get that, but yeah, I'm glad you're here. Okay, so at this point, we've done the X100VI 3 features. Now, there's more, and I have them in a new video that's coming out. So the ones that I have that I didn't cover on this live stream are specific to that camera, more or less. So there's going to be a few that are only applicable to that camera, and there's going to be a few more that you could use on other Fujifilm cameras as well. So be sure to watch that video. I think you'll like it. I shot that one, and I shot another X100VI video back to back because I had to return the camera the next day, and I just couldn't keep it any longer. So that's coming out very soon. All right, so I think we've got all the business taken care of. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I'm done with the agenda. We are about 6:40 in the PM. So what we can do right now, if you have any X100VI questions, if you have any XT5 questions, if you want to ask what the molar volume of hydrogen is, ask away. I'll do my best to answer it. And yeah, so I was browsing the web today, and I came across someone who found a way to hack into the Fujifilm firmware and do stuff like extend the record time on the camera. I mean, stuff like that. So of course, I was really interested. I went into it, and it is as technical as you can get. Now, I know my name's pal2tech, but it is really technical. It is hacking in to hexadecimal. Some of you programmers will know what I'm talking about, but it's as difficult to figure out as you can get. But it is interesting because you can do all kinds of things to the camera. And so, but you run the risk of ruining the camera. By the way, Fuji, if you're watching, I'm just going to say this right now. I am never going to show the audience how to hack into your cameras, okay? I may demo it for fun on a camera that is, expendable maybe, but just for fun. But I'm never going to teach or show the audience how to hack the proprietary firmware, which I know is not supposed to be hacked. But it was interesting. So I lost a lot of time today going down that rabbit hole, that's for sure. So any of you technical people out there, if you go to Google and type in Fujifilm firmware hack, good luck. I couldn't figure it out. Hi, Raymond. Love New York. Dr. Karsten's here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, wow. Someone just got an XH2S, Dimitri. Excellent. Good job. Yeah, that camera's awesome. We have a current XT3. Okay, so wow. All right, so let's see this one here. What do you all think about this? Trade in the XT3 for an XT5 or make my bank balance cry. Well, would it cry? Can someone look up real quick? Because if I do it, I'm going to screw something up here. Could someone figure out right now what would be more expensive? An XT5 with the kit lens and a single battery, or the X100VI, right, with just as is? Because I don't know what the prices are. It's hard for me to answer that without knowing the prices, and you would be shocked that I don't know that, but I actually don't. I don't spend a lot of time looking at affiliate stuff. I mean, I have affiliate links, but I don't research it. I don't think about it a whole lot. I'm just, yeah, funny thing is, I don't know where they match up. So let me know. Okay, David, thank you for this super chat. Awesome. David is one of our backstage members. He's been with the channel since the beginning. Always awesome. Always awesome. Thank you. And we do need to do another Zoom get together. I'll get that going this weekend. I've got so much to do. I'll tell you something. Let me zoom in because this is one of those, serious moments. My daughter started to drive. Okay. She hasn't taken the test yet, but sitting watching her drive was a big deal for me. I don't know. Any dads out there, has that ever happened to you? Now, the demographics of the channel, I think it's ages 35 to 45, so not sure if anyone out there has a son or a daughter that is just start learning to drive, because when you're sitting next to them, okay, in the passenger seat, and there's just always that moment when they get on the highway or when they're going to park between two cars, right? Okay. There's that moment of, but you don't want to let your face show it because it makes them nervous if you're nervous. And then they make mistakes. They do make mistakes, but then they get better. And then one time they park perfectly, or they just do it right. And it's just such a wonderful feeling. So yeah. So my mind hasn't been on the channel, to be honest with you, in the past week, other than the Instax thing. So I'm getting back into it. And that is why I decided to do the live stream today. And there you go. So there's my personal moment. I should do a personal moment every live stream. What do you think of that? Is that too much? I got some comments from people last time. They were kind of upset. And this was the live stream on March 8th. And I was talking about NASA in the beginning because I had just come back from freaking NASA, okay? I was excited. And it wasn't like I went there as someone to just go see the Kennedy Space Center, the little theme park. I was a special guest of NASA, and I'm going to talk about that actually next Friday. But I had a badge, and they had to do a background check, and it was awesome. But when I talked about it, people were upset. They were like, stop wasting time talking about this. Talk about the Fuji. So let me know. That is always the hardest part of the channel. And I can deal with it on the regular videos because I can edit out. I have so much stuff that I've edited out that I've rambled on about and ranted on. I could have another channel of just that. But yeah, and so when I do live streams, I'm more just me as if we were just hanging out. And so I'm not always going to be talking about Fuji. And so I don't know if that's a good thing or not. And if it's not, I need you to let me know. And I will not take offense, okay? I will not take offense because I understand you're here for Fuji information and news, tips, tutorials, how-tos, all of that. I got you covered, and I take that very seriously. So yeah, it's always a balance, All right, let me just, before we continue, I get so bad and I feel horrible if I miss anybody that has been really nice. Yes, see, I would have missed someone. Thank you, the VX by Art. Thank you, the VX by Art, for the super chat. And the viewfinder selector tip. Okay, good. I'm glad that was helpful. Definitely be sure, sounds like you do have an X100VI. So be sure to see the full video because I have another tip that concerns the viewfinder as well. And I have to show the footage. There's no way I could do it live, okay? It's impossible. But it will be in the video for sure. Thank you though, I really appreciate it. Oh boy, Randy, how you doing? XS20, how many of you, raise of hands, have an XS20? I love that camera. I don't know, I actually like that camera. You're gonna think I'm crazy, but there are things I like about the XS20 more than the XH line. And definitely the XH is more pro, 100%. But I loved reviewing the XS20. I had a blast with that camera. That was awesome. So what is this here? My local oh, I love my favorite 3 words are local camera store. Okay, there it is right here. Selling the, what is it, the 6 battery at $68. Okay, awesome. And by the way, the X100VI also has an ability to use a dummy battery. And you know, it's funny. So it's not that I know that if I ever launched merch on this channel, nobody would buy it. Nobody cares. You know, I understand that. But then I was thinking, I mean, but it looks like the channel's doing well if you've got a mug and a t-shirt and that stuff. However, I did think, well, maybe what about a dummy battery? Because like, honestly, this is on a dummy battery. That's on a dummy battery. I use them all the time. And for videographers, they're very handy. And so I looked into it. I thought, you know, I would put Gear Iguana's face on it or have it just say PAL, you know, just some stupid branded thing. I don't want to get anywhere near that. Okay? Because I'll tell you something about dummy batteries. If you bulk order them, they're mostly in China. You don't know what the hell you're getting and what's going to blow the camera up, all right? So the last thing I need is for someone in my audience to have their, you know, their X-T5 completely hosed by some electrical thing on a piece of merch that I sold. So no dummy battery, that's completely out. But I see other YouTubers and they're doing various products. And so it just got me thinking, but no, that was just a thought for a second. I'm not doing a dummy battery. Okay. All right, so where are we now? And what's funny is I'm looking at the playback monitor right now, and it is showing what I was displaying on the screen about the Viltrox lens like 20 minutes ago. So I don't know what's up with that. That's really weird. I don't know if I'm that far behind with this. Yeah, see, I'm getting up right now and I'm walking over to get the lens. I don't know, so I'm just gonna go with it. So anyhow, let me go through the rest of these comments. And if I've taken forever to get to your comment, it's because what I'm seeing here is, it's like controlling the Mars rover. It's like 20 minutes, you know, behind. Okay, let's see here. Everyone is so awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Any questions for me? Anything at all I can help out with, or anything you want me to talk about? I'll be happy to do that. Otherwise, I will. Oh, wait a minute. Do we have a solution for? Okay, hold on a minute. Yeah, of course I do. All right. Take a look at this question here, everyone. So what you want to do, is it Jorg or Jorg? I'm sorry. I'm terrible with pronunciation, but let me answer your question at least. So yeah, I have that problem a lot, or at least I used to until I fixed it. But what the question is talking about, the issue is, when you are going, where did it go? Okay. When you're going down to waist height with your camera, right? If you're holding it like here, it's not a problem. But if you hold it here, it becomes a problem. And what happens is, if you flip up the screen, right? Let's say you're doing street photography, you flip up the screen goes blank. The screen goes blank. What's happening is that there's a sensor right there. You see it. It's below the viewfinder. You see that sensor right there? And that sensor, you have your camera inadvertently set so that when that sensor is covered, and that sensor could be covered even like that, it could be considered covered. Sometimes that'll trip it. But when you have that sensor covered, it turns off the LCD. So what kind of camera do you have? Okay, Jorg, I need you to tell me what kind of camera you have. Otherwise, I can't give you the exact solution. Anybody that asks a question and they don't tell me what kind of camera they have, they're banned from the show. All right, that's the new rule. You're banned from the show. So how am I going to know? I mean, there's a million cameras out there. So let me know what kind of camera it is. Oh, now all the comments are coming in. Oh boy, did Mr. Jarble? Everybody keeps mentioning Mr. Jarble. Did I get? Okay, so it's the memberships, I guess. Yeah, and Natalie, I agree with you completely. I have seen it outperform the X-T5. In fact, I would love to do a follow-up review and just a comparison between that and the X-T5. So, I can't say the name. Fuji, forget the X100VI, but how about, an XS20? Can you shoot one over? Maybe. Okay. Where do we have here? XS20. Okay, thank you. Thank you, George. All right, so to finish answering the question, what you want to do on, of course, it's the XS20. I don't have one here. But I believe, sir, that on your camera, okay, somewhere around here, you have a button and it'll say something like view mode. You see that? Is it so hard for this to just focus? Okay, so, okay, can you read that? Can you, hold on. All right. This thing is rickety. I got to put some weights or something on it. All right, so can you see that view mode? You should have a button. It would be either here or it may be here, okay? So my first question to you is, do you have that button? And if you do, go ahead and toggle it, right? And at one point, as you toggle it, you'll see on your LCD screen, it will say LCD only. That'll be perfect for you, because if it's LCD only, then this whole sensor thing and the viewfinder and all that stuff won't be applicable. It'll just display there. And then you could do this, and it won't black out the screen, okay? If you don't have a button, and I just don't remember if it has one or not. So let me do this. I'm going to turn this camera back on. We're going to go into the menu. If you don't, okay. If you don't have one, then what you need to do, if I can find it, screen setup in the wrench, view mode setting. I just talked about this earlier in the stream, but view mode setting, shooting, and then, monkey around with this thing. Choose, what I would choose is, oh, now see, I disabled some of these. I'm going to press the Q button, turn these back on, check, 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 okay? All right, so then just choose LCD only, all right? That would work. I believe you can assign a shortcut button to do that fast. So let me try DISP back button. I'm holding the DISP back button down, okay? Holding it down. You see this button right here, holding that button down. I'm in there. Let me see if I can assign, what do I want to pick here? I guess I'll go with this one, the Q. So to assign it, can I choose that? They got 10 pages of these things. Let me go back to page 1. So what we're looking for is the ability to switch from that. All right, we're image, no, that's not it. Anything here? Nope. Anything here? Focus check, no, nope, nope. I don't see anything here. Okay, sports find, definitely not sports finder. All right, I don't think it's in here. If it is, I'm probably not seeing it. Wait a minute, view mode setting. Okay, here it is, boom. What I've just done is I have assigned my Q menu to a custom, I'm gonna fix this overhead rig before the next live stream, I promise you. Okay, so what I did was this Q button right here, all right, I have customized that to toggle. So I'm gonna go ahead and press it. Let me go back, let me try it from here. Okay, so pretend I'm out and I'm shooting photos in the street and I'm having the problem that Jorg is having, all right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press the Q button, boom. Oh, I see, it toggles it. There it is, you see that? That is actually a really good idea because you can quickly, if you're having that problem, you can just go boom, boom, boom. There it is, boom, eye sensor. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna shoot street stuff now. Boom, LCD only. Won't black out. Check it out. See, it's not blacking out. So there you go. Right. Again, I don't have an edit button on the live streams. You get all of this raw and uncensored and unplugged. Okay. I hope that answers your question. We've got about 4 minutes left. Let's see here. Nazar, what is your question? I'm thinking to get a Fuji, oh, okay. Fuji camera, total beginner. Get the X-T5. That's my, my answer to you. Because when you say beginner, I'm a firm believer in having all the dials and having that as a way to really hardwire you into the exposure triangle. And you also mentioned that you're mostly a stills shooter. So I think for those reasons, get the T5. But you could get a T3. I mean, to be honest with you, T3 is great too, but X-T5 does have better autofocus. Some may say get the XS20, but I do think the X-T5 for your circumstance would be a good one. Did you have another question? Yeah, you did. 23 millimeter f1.4, the 35. Oh, man, I can't answer that. It depends what you shoot, okay? So you got to tell me what you shoot when you ask about a lens, okay? Or you'll be banned from the show. So what are you shooting? You know, are you shooting weddings, family, you know? So which lens is better? They're both great. Maybe the 23, you'll have more coverage. You know, I don't know, but they're both great lenses. And listen to what Natalie says. Natalie knows what's going on. No problem, Jorg. Doc Rock is here. Hey, Doc, if you'd like to join up, I'd love to have you call in. I cannot do it tonight because I'm late for dinner, but I really am late for dinner. But maybe this Friday we could do it. I would love to have you on, talk to you about Fujifilm, talk to you about Ecamm. I need help with these live streams. Doc Rock has forgotten more than I'll ever know about live streaming. So I just, you know, I really need your help, pal. So let me know if you'd be interested in doing that. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Jarvel. I'm going to ban all of you. No, I'm just kidding. But, okay, so do I think they're going to, oh, yeah, an X Pro series. I don't know. That is actually the question of the day. I don't know. I don't think so. But I don't. Ask me in 6 months. Okay. I agree with Natalie 100% on this one. All right. Well, you can call me from LA, Doc. All right. So, well, maybe next week. Any other questions? I don't want to miss anybody. Hey, Ken, how you doing? All the way in Denmark. All right. We're about 1 minute away. Anything else? I see I get sucked into this. I forget you're there. I'm sorry. Let me just make sure people that super chatted don't get ignored. Okay. All right. We're all good. So I am going to do a live stream a week from today. Normally I do them every 2 weeks, but I'm going to give a bonus one this coming Friday. The reason I'm doing that is because I am not going to be covering a lot of Fujifilm topics on it. I am going to talk about NASA, photography in particular, and how it pertains to space and what I was able to find out at NASA. I talked to the chief science officer of the International Space Station about photography. So I want to talk about that and some other things. And I promised you that you would have a live stream every 2 weeks, and you will. And that will be about cameras, photography, Fuji. So if I decide to shuffle it up and talk about space, then that's going to be a bonus one, and it won't affect that 2 week schedule. So you're still going to have the following week. We're going to get back to talking about Fuji. I might mention Fuji, a little bit, but it'll be more hanging out with me where we're just talking about non-Fuji topics. I probably won't have a big audience for that one, but that's okay. I enjoy it. So with that being said, I want to thank all of you for joining me tonight. I had a blast. And if you missed any part of this stream, I will be rebroadcasting it. It will go live about 5 to 10 minutes after I sign off. So that's all good. And I want to say a special thank you to obviously the Backstage members, to the Discord members, to the pal2tech channel members, and the Gear Iguana members. Okay, if you don't know what that is, go check out pal2tech. Here we go. I got to hit that button for this. Go check out pal2tech. There it is, Backstage. Okay, pal2tech.com/backstage, and that will explain this. But there's a Gear Iguana thing. You don't get any extra benefits. It's not like you get all this great stuff, but you're a permanent part of the studio, just out of frame. And in fact, we have a couple new ceremonies for new Gear Iguana members to do. I'm behind on that. I'll be shooting those this weekend. I will be reaching out to you, by the way, if you're watching this, to get your name so I can properly pronounce it. That's important to me. Lastly, I did want to say and single out Mr. Jarble. Mr. Jarble has been a fan of the channel in a lot of ways. Mr. Jarble has, and I don't want to say Mr. Jarble's real name, although I know what Mr. Jarble's real name is because I really respect privacy. However, I have had the fortunate opportunity to connect with Mr. Jarble, and Mr. Jarble is absolutely awesome. Not just that they have supported the channel, obviously financially at times, but they just have a great personality. And Mr. Jarble came to me for some help with something, and I had a wonderful one-on-one meeting with Mr. Jarble, and it was awesome. And if you're watching now, Mr. Jarble, I'm very proud of you, what you did. That being said, I gave you an assignment and I expect you to do it. And I will be watching what you produce, okay? So, has to do, by the way, folks, with photography and videography. With that being said, thank you, Mr. Jarble, and thank all of you for joining me. It's always a lot of fun here. If you liked the live stream, give it the like and subscribe. Have a wonderful weekend, okay? Have a great night tonight, and that's it. I'll see you real soon. Take care.